All right, what up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Living the Dream podcast. Today on the show, we are talking about paying for speed and consistency. So, I actually wrote this down a couple weeks ago, so I don't remember the particular story that I had in mind for when I was brainstorming this episode, but you can either pay for speed or consistency with your time or with your money. So if you're the one being consistent, if you're the one making things go faster, go smoother, you're going to pay for it with your time. If you pay for it with your money, you're going to be commissioning other people's time, other people's energy, other people's effort to make the systems in your business, in your life go faster and be more consistent. I think the first time I really realized this was when I was doing Facebook ads. I was like, I could either do marketing myself, where I DM people, cold DM people, or I get on Facebook ads. Facebook could show my ad to people over and over every day with me just paying $5 a day, $10 a day, $30 a day. Obviously, you won't be getting the results you want if you're only doing $5 a day. But if you do like $1,000 a day, you're going to be getting leads automatically because you're leveraging Facebook. So that's what I mean paying for speed, paying for consistency. You can also speed. I mean, we do that. We all do that every day. Like, how long would it take us to figure out how to do an oil change if it was our first time? Instead, we pay for somebody to do the oil change quickly because that's not worth our time to learn that skill. Some people do learn the skill and they change their oil themselves. So you can pay for speed in situations like that where you don't have knowledge and other people have knowledge. But where has this shown up in my life specifically? I would say in partnerships with employees I have, like when I hired my VA, and then with tech. So with partnerships in my wholesaling businesses, I have partners that will handle acquisitions or dispositions or fund the kind of marketing costs of wholesaling. And I paid for that with equity in the deal. So if I had all done it myself, say we make $50,000 on a wholesale fee, I keep the 50. But when you bring in partners and maybe you split it into thirds, say we make $100,000, I'm giving up 33,000 of that to each partner, so I only take home 33,000, and so I'm paying for it through using future profits, which is a creative way to structure a deal. Partner with some people that you know can make the thing happen, and then you just split the profits in the future. Everybody's happy because everybody's making more money. You're not really out of pocket. So you can pay for it with equity, but that is the most expensive because ventures, as they become successful and they scale, the amount it would cost to probably pay somebody to do that versus giving them 5% equity, long term, you probably just want to pay them to do it because equity becomes more and more expensive. Whereas like paying somebody stays basically the same, maybe fluctuates a little bit because of like inflation or pay raises, or maybe they get more skilled, whatever it may be. So yeah, I would say partnerships is the first way I pay for speed and consistency, giving up equity in future profits. The most expensive by far. Don't really recommend it, but sometimes you are in the beginning of your entrepreneurial career, and that is the best way to go about it. Or you just want to walk through life with a partner, and it's cool to have that level of trust with somebody you know you can go far with. So, employees, you also pay for speed and consistency, or I pay my VA every week, and she helps me consistently post my podcast. Like, I wouldn't be able to do it without her. Like, straight up, I'd be able to do it, but it would drive me crazy. I probably wouldn't be consistent. And so I think this is really key with employees in tech. You can hire virtual assistants for fairly cheap, and there's technology that basically does everything. If you find yourself being inconsistent with something, ask yourself how you can implement one of these two things to really kind of make that consistency happen. So, where do I want it to show up in my life? I want to create systems that buy income. So, I want the speed of buying income to be automated and always have a system that kind of makes itself more efficient. And then I want to have a system that consistently buys income for me. So it buys it fast and it buys it consistently. And by this, I mean either buying businesses or buying real estate, buying businesses that already work. Somebody already put in a bunch of their time to make sure that the sales process is speedy enough to see profits and consistent enough to see profits. So why would I do it myself? I will just go buy that and make sure it doesn't break. So yeah, I want to create systems that buy income. That's where I want paying for speed and consistency to show up in my life. And obviously I'll be paying employees, partners, all this good stuff to make these systems work. And I also just want to continue to employ tech into basically everything I do. Like if you can automate it, automate it. Ain't no point in doing it if you don't need to do it. How can you apply it to your life? I would say the first thing is you need to decide on something that you want to be consistent with or that you want to happen faster. After that, figure out how to outsource it or make it more efficient with a system. So again, you either pay for speed or you pay for consistency with time or with money. So if you're paying for speed with time, you're probably going to have to put in the reps at, say, underwriting a multifamily apartment complex. Eventually, after you put in enough time, you put in enough reps, you're going to be faster at it. You're going to be able to do it more consistently and accurately. However, you could also pay somebody to underwrite for you. I wouldn't really suggest that with that specific example because you need to understand the numbers, but you get what I'm saying. If you put in time, you will get faster. If you put money in, it will be more consistent and you can pay somebody who's already fast. So that's just what skills do you want to develop and decide which are going to be, okay, I use my time doing this because it's a high income skill. It will produce outsized returns for the rest of my life. Or I'm going to outsource this because I don't really need to do it. And it's very easily outsourceable. I don't know if that was correct grammar, but you get what I'm saying. And I've heard some entrepreneurs say if it's a task that can be outsourced for under $100 an hour, you shouldn't be doing it, which is wild because a lot of people listening to this may not make $100 an hour. And if you do, you need to start outsourcing stuff under $100 an hour. If you don't, you need to start outsourcing everything you can that's under $100 an hour so you can free up your time to do the stuff that produces $500, $1,000, $5,000 an hour so you can have outsized returns on your time. That is all we have for this episode, guys. Thank you for watching the show. As we always ask, shoot this podcast over to 1 to 3 people you know need to hear this message. Go ahead and give us a 5-star review on iTunes. Check out the website. Join the Creative Dealmakers Mastermind. We're restructuring that into more of a higher ticket, hopefully local to Austin thing, because I want to be able to see people in person, but it still will be higher ticket and exclusive. People around the country can join. But yeah, we're going to limit how many people can join, make it higher ticket so that we can see results in our lives. On that note, thank you guys for watching, and we're out.